Welcome back to the Chick-fil-A Classic here on the campus of Bellevue University inside the Gordon Lozier Athletic Center at Jerry Mosser Court. I'm Jimmy Allen. We're getting you ready for Peru State taking on Dickinson State in the men's bracket here today. Both teams coming into this game trying to kind of find their way, as both teams have one game under their belt up until this point in the season. Blue Hawks coming into this game 0-1 after dropping their opener 64-78 to Northern State back on October 28th in Aberdeen. Senior guard John Evans led the Blue Hawks in scoring in that opener with 12 points. The Canadian native was the only starter to score in double digits for the Blue Hawks, as Dickinson State got a lot of help from their bench. Senior Jaden Wright and sophomore Britton Cranston were able to score 10 points off the bench, respectively. Peru State comes to this game 1-0 after getting a big win 85-54 over Haskell Indian Nations University. The Bobcats, two players scored in double digits. Their junior guard, Stephen Coleman, led all scorers. The Toledo, Ohio native had 13 points. He led all scorers. Christian Tidian had 10 points and led all starters. The 6'7" senior from right across the river in Council Bluffs from Abraham Lincoln High School grabbed 8 rebounds as well. 16 different Bobcats saw minutes in the opener. It'll be interesting to see if they're able to get that many guys out on the court, if it was indicative of the score of the game, or they just felt like they needed to rotate that many players in. One of the scratches for the game tonight is a guy that we saw a ton for Dickinson State last year, a 6'7" senior from Sheridan, Wyoming. Gus Wright is not going to be available for these Blue Hawks. You hate to see that. He was a ton of fun to watch and an absolute physical presence out on the court. I didn't get any in-depth information from Derek Selvig. He just told me he was not going to be available. He's actually not even here today, so he will not play. Other scratches: Trice Dahlberg, the senior forward from Buffalo, Wyoming, also not available for the Blue Hawks. For Peru State, just 2 scratches today. Just one. Jonte Hogan, not available. The Lincoln, Nebraska native, not able to go for Peru State today. About 1:45 to go before we tip this one off. Anybody that is just joining us, the Dickinson State women just finished up their matchup with with Mount Mercy University. The final score was Mount Mercy 97, Dickinson State 68. So if you missed us and look for the score in that one, that was the final in the first game of the Chick-fil-A Classic. We do have 2 more games to follow Dickinson State's men's team and the Peru State men. Bellevue University women's basketball will get underway against Southwest Christian, and they will obviously the host of the tournament will be the second to last game, and then the Bellevue men's basketball. Lucas Gabriel, who I just talked to a minute ago, his men's basketball team for Bellevue University will host Oakland City in the nightcap tonight. This is the annual Chick-fil-A Classic from Bellevue University. We always give you 4 games in the first day, and we appreciate everybody joining us. Don't forget, we will be back tomorrow with 4 more games, as well as the Bellevue University men's and women's basketball looking for their first wins on the season after this one. But before we get there, we got to give you Dickinson State's men taking on the Peru State Bobcats. Dickinson State's head coach Derek Selvig in his 5th season. Roman Gentry, the head coach of the Bobcats, in just his 3rd. A lot of local flavor for both Nebraska and Iowa here, as we're getting you set for our starting lineups and the national anthem, as we'll give you to our PA crew. We're going to list off the starters for you here.
At guard, a 6'5" senior from Cleveland, Ohio, number 1, Chris People. At guard, a 6'5" senior from Chicago, Illinois, number 4, Carlos Hyde. At guard, a 6'5" junior from Toledo, Ohio, number 10, Stephen Coleman Jr. At 4, a 6'6" senior from Blue Springs, Missouri, number 32, Devin Tomlinson. And at 4, a 6'7" senior from Council Bluffs, Iowa, number 50, Christian Tidian. By Roman Gentry in his 3rd season, he was assisted by Reggie Pindle and Jordan Johnson. Now let's meet the starters for the Blue Hawks of Dickinson State University, who are in today's game with an overall record of 0-0. At guard, a 6'2" senior from Houston, Texas, number 2, Jose Agbule. At guard, a 6'2" senior from Sparks, Nevada, number 3, Trey Stevens. a 6'6" senior from Alliance, Nebraska, number 34, Braden Palmer.
There you have it. The starters have been announced for both Dickinson State and Peru State as we get you set for tip-off here in the first half. Ton of Nebraska flavor on both of these teams, despite Dickinson State being from North Dakota. As we get you set for tip-off, it looks like it will be Christian Titian, the Council Bluffs native, jumping against, looks like that's Cordell Stinson, the Reno, Nevada native. Tip is up, Stinson wins it. It's going to be in the hands of this high-powered Dickinson State offense as Trey Stevens starts it off. Casey Igbule, one of the most exciting players at this level. Number 2, keep an eye on him. Shot up on the outside, it's off the mark. No good. Stinson tried putting up an open look. Defender crashed and off the mark. Chris Peoples moving the ball down court, gets in the cause, Hines' hands, dribbles into a ton of traffic. That one's swatted away by John Evans. Now the Blue Hawks trying to get out and run on the other side, kick out the outside errant pass. This ends up in the hands of Chris Peoples. Turnover goes back to the Bobcats. Peoples slows it down, gives it back to Hines. Resets the offense. Dribbles to his right, nothing there. Gives it up. Stephen Coleman Jr. doesn't like what he sees either and kicks inside of the big man, Christian Titian. Titian outside Tomlinson. Reset of the offense, 10 on the shot clock. Hines dribble, step back, shot up, shot is off the mark. Rebound comes back down to Stinson. Stinson brings up past half court, now hands it back off to Evans. The Canadian native gives it off to Trey Stevens, who had himself a game in this gym last year in the conference championship game. Kick inside to Alliance Nebraska native Braden Palmer. Palmer spin move inside, works Titian back under the glass, puts a shot up, it's good. First points of the game go to Dickinson State. They lead 2-0. Peoples calling out the offense. Dribbles off to his left, now finds Hines, who tries to back down Evans. Jab step, Hines shot up off the mark, no good, brought back down by Igbule. Stevens dribbling to his right, trying to find somebody open, does, kicks it out back around the horn. Igbule doesn't like what he sees, dribbles inside, pulls up, mid-range jumper in and out. Brought back down by Titian. Titian hands off Thompson, who puts it up. This one tipped out and away. It's going to be saved by the Bobcats. Kick back inside, Titian, nothing there. Looking to get some help on the outside. Gets back out to Devin Tomlinson, who can't find anything out there, and then loses his footing. That should have been a travel. It doesn't get called. Titian, strong move to the glass, puts it up. It is good. Derek Selvig not happy on the sideline. He felt like Titian got away with that Tomlinson got away with a travel. He's probably right. Ball picked away by Tomlinson behind the back dribble. He's got one-on-one here. He's going to take strong move to the basket, uncontested. That one goes through. Extends the lead 6-2. Devin Thompson able just to feed his way through traffic and get that one to roll home. Scratch that, score 4-2 Bobcats. Basket goes inside to Igbule, and he's able to uncontested put one up, and it finds its way home to tie the game back at 4.
Assist by number 34, Palmer.
Peoples trying to make something happen on the right side. Ton of traffic there. They call a blocking foul. It's Trey Stevens.
State, number 12, Aiden Fischel.
Aiden Fischel going to come in for Stevens. He heads over to the bench. Took one of the chops there. Ball's going to stay with the Bobcats. Peoples kicks it out to Coleman. Guarded by Stinson. Gives it up. Offense being called out by Hines. Hines trying to make something happen with his mismatched shoes. Puts up a shot. That one's good. Mid-ranger finds its way home. Gets the lead to Peru State 6-4. 16:23 to play in the first half. Ball put inside to Evans. Evans goes up strong, gets the call, gets hammered underneath the rim. John Evans on a quick one step to the rim, gets there, draws the foul. He's going to head to the line with a chance to give the Blue Hawks the lead.
Number 50, Christian Tidian, that's his first. Bobcats first.
Christian Tidian, the big man in the middle for the Bobcats, picks up his first foul. John Evans, leading scorer a week ago. His first free throw in this one. It's good. Gives the Blue Hawks lead 7-6. As Peoples gives it up to Hines and lets him call the offense out. Evans on Hines. Hines backing him down. Screen set. Shot up. Off the mark. Bounces in and then out. And Evans is able to corral it. Hines' shot just off the mark. Official gives the ball up. Shot up by Stinson, and somehow that one went in. He got shoved off on. No call, but that one rolls home. Increases the lead to 3, 9-6 Blue Hawks. People switches off here and hands off to Coleman. Coleman back to Hines. Hines dribbles inside. A lot of traffic. Doesn't matter. This was poked away by Evans. He's able to get it back into his hands. It brings it to the length of the court and then slows it down. Looked like Evans wanted to get out and run there and got some instructions from the sideline to slow it down. This one goes inside to Official. Official trying to make something happen and does. Pivot in, pivot out, shot up, shot good. That's going to send Aiden Official to the line. He's a guy that struggled mightily in that championship game a year ago. Kind of got his confidence back in that second half, and now the first man off the bench for these Blue Hawks. Checking in here for the Blue Hawks, Weston Zasher. Free throw off the mark, ball back to the Bobcats. Coleman moves it outside, and a little bit of a shove off there. And getting away with it, Stephen Coleman got a little bit of a forearm shiver and got to the basket, count it. Pulls the game back in within 3 in a one-possession game. Official looking underneath, nothing there. He's going to take this one, call his own number, goes up strong with it, misses it off the mark. Rebound, back down to the Bobcats. Official pops it away, but Bobcats able to corral that one. Darren Miller just there to pick that one up. This one just off the mark. Devin Tomlinson had a wide open look at it, put one up, and just wasn't even close. That ball's going to air out and head back to Dickinson State. Interesting look here. Keisei Uguble was one of the most on-the-ball, ball-in-your-hand players in this conference a year ago. He has not really touched it much early in this one. Regardless, his Blue Hawks lead 11-8. Official dishes inside. Now Uguble with the ball in his hands. He drives a lot of traffic and then is able to save it, but kicked out by Stinson. Stinson not able to find anybody in a white jersey. Ends up in the hands of Tomlinson, who picks up his dribble here and travels. He got away with one a few possessions ago. He does not get away with this one. This ball goes back to the Blue Hawks. Nice look there. Lucas Gabriel and the men's basketball staff from Bellevue University scouting this one. They will see one of these teams tomorrow. It's Official now dribbles past half court. Evans sets a screen. Nothing there for Official, who gets one-on-one. Dribble inside, nothing there. Back out to Evans, around to Uguble. Finally gets it inside to Stinson, who doesn't like what he sees, so dribbles out, spin move, nothing there. Misses the mark by a mile. Back down to the Bobcats. Hines gives it up over to Lovelace. Lovelace puts it up off the mark. First shot attempt today for Lamar Lovelace. Nothing doing there. Ball back to Dickinson State. Ball kicked out to Jake Daniels in the game for the first time as well. Igbule now dribbles underneath, gets a ton of contact. They're going to say that was in the act of shooting. That looked like that was on the floor, but regardless, Keisei Igbule is able to find the basket and get an and-one opportunity here. He looks like he may be limping. Kind of shaking off his left ankle there. I don't know if that's an issue before the game. That could be why we haven't seen him have the ball in his hands a ton. But it was definitely noticeably limping off his left foot there. We'll have to keep an eye on that for Keisei Igbule. See him still fidgeting with that ankle. That's going to be something to keep an eye on. Igbule's first attempt is up and good. Extends the lead for the Blue Hawks. They lead 14-8, 13:32 to play in the first half. Bobcats with the ball in their hands. Lovelace now gives it up. Back around to Quentin Wright with his first time being in the game today as well. Over to Donzel Johnson, who's in the game for the first time as well. Shot up, no good. Off the mark for Coleman, who just gets it poked away. Ends up back in the hands of Official. The official slows it down a little bit. He wanted to run there, but pulled it out at the last minute. Riddle Stinson backs down his guy, tries to get a kick out to Jaden Wright. He does, but Wright not able to find anything. Gives it up to official Wright with an open look. He does not pass up a lot of shots, does not pass up that one there. Just can't get it to fall. This one's going to stay with the Blue Hawks. Great effort there by Jake Daniels, just sticking with it, and eventually got it to tip off of a Blue Hawk as Derek Selvig wants to reset his offense, call a timeout here. 12:53 to play in the first half. Dickinson State leads 14-8. (14-8) is your score right now. Dickinson State leading Peru State. Kosei Ugbule is your leading scorer right now for Dickinson State. He's got 5, but hasn't touched the ball a ton. Right now, your leading scorer for Peru State is Tomlinson, Devin Tomlinson, who's got 4. Ball kicked out to Daniel, Jaden Daniel. Can't find him in there and hands off to official. Official dribbles inside, one-on-one, trying to make something happen. Can't get enough space. Big Boulay now resets his feet, gets it up off the mark. Ball brought down by the Bobcats. Quentin Wright calling out the offense and then hands off. Mar Lovelace now trying to find some room in the paint. Can't, doesn't find anything, loses his footing, almost picks up his dribble, but doesn't. Spin move inside, shot up and good. As Aaron Miller picks up his first points of the game. Blue Hawks trying to answer here with a 4-point lead. They want to be able to keep this at an arm's distance length, and that is not going to help. Aiden Fisher just can't bring that one in. Aaron Wright just kind of threw that into a ton of, or excuse me, Jaden Wright just threw that into a ton of traffic and tipped away and going to go back to the Bobcats. Wright sees an opening, he wants to run, but Blue Hawks close quickly. Hands it off, shot up and good. As Lamar Lovelace gets his second points of the game. Official may have gotten away with one there, but it doesn't matter. It looked like he picked up his pivot foot when he threw it up, and he just kind of threw it up, and it falls out of bounds, and it's going to go back to the Bobcats. 2 really messy possessions back-to-back there for Dickinson State out of a timeout. That's going to send Fischel to the bench. Checking back in is Trey Stevens. Wright gets the ball past the time strip, then kicks it out for Lovelace, who tries to find something in the middle. He gets tipped away and ends up back in the hands of Devin Tomlinson, who resets the offense. Great fake and take, but just can't get it to go as Lovelace is just off the mark. Great move, got space at the rim, but just couldn't finish. Jake Daniel with the ball back in his hands, kicks it back out, ends up on the right side to Stinson, who tries to make something happen there, and hook shot way off the mark. Back into the hands of the Bobcats, they trail by 2. Screen set at the top of the key, doesn't really matter. It's Wright trying to make something happen, gets it out to Tomlinson around the horn. Into the hands of Aaron Miller. Miller trying to back down his guy. He can't. Tomlinson fakes the shot, doesn't like it, goes inside. Pump fakes up anyway. That one just off the mark. Too strong, brought down by Igbule. Stevens just trying to make something happen outside the arc, just getting it around the horn. Ends up back down to Stinson under the basket, who's going to put one up outside of the arc now, off the mark, in and out. Almost 2 minutes without a basket now as the Bobcats back on the march. Shot up from way beyond the arc. This one's going to air out and end up back in the hands of Trey Stevens. As the Blue Hawks don't have the numbers, but Stevens going to push it up court anyway. Doesn't like what he sees. It takes a way mid-range shot. This one falls through. As a hurried shot there by Trey Stevens at the top of the arc as he picked up his dribble. Finds its way home. They lead by 4 with 10 minutes to go in the first half. Lovelace now one-on-one with Wright. Trying to back him down. He can't. Tomlinson ends up with the ball in his hands. Back around to Wright. Dribbles underneath. Gets this one poked away by Igbule. It's going to stay with the Bobcats. This one gets knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Peru State as Derek Selvig wants an explanation about something from the official. I think he was just getting clarification on who had the ball. Unfortunately, it is not his Blue Hawks for him, but it will stay with Peru State as they trail 12-16. 9:47 to play here in the first half. Your leading scorers through this one so far. Kosei Ugbule has got 5. He leads the Dickinson State men. 4 players for Dickinson State. All have 2 points, just 1 basket made each. Nobody's made more than 1 for the Bobcats through this point in the first half. They did credit Hines with 2 baskets earlier. They did get that erased and credited back correctly to Titian. So right now, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Peru State Bobcats with the basket. Nobody with more than 1. They're shooting 6 of 18 from the field. Despite leading not much better, Dickinson State 7 of 16 from the field. Neither team shooting it great right now. We went 2 minutes and 13 seconds without a basket there just a few minutes ago, but Peru State with the ball under the hoop, under the Dickinson State hoop here. Out of a timeout. We'll see what the Bobcats draw up. That's some last minute comments from Roman Gentry to his squad. Mar Lovelace to inbound, guarded by Stevens. Lovelace finds Hines out around the perimeter, drives inside and finally kicks it in back into Lovelace. Spin move, in, out, and good. Shot up, and they're able to find something right outside the cylinder. Pulls within 2. 9:30 to play in the first half. Wright gets it to Jake Daniel. Daniel back out to Griffin Daughtry. Doty. Doty back down to Wright looking for Evans on the outside. Almost finds Stevens. It gets poked out. Looked like he was trying to get that to John Evans across the middle, but Evans ran shallow and it got poked out of bounds by the Bobcats. Griffin Doty just inbound here for Dickinson State. A couple of shoelace issues being attended to, and those are fixed. Doty gets it into Stevens, the senior. Working on one-on-one with Lovelace. Goes inside, spin move back outside. In and out. I mean, the ball about did the same movement that Stevens did. Nice pivot in, pivot out. Shot does not fall.
Donzel Johnson, that's his first. Team 4th for Peru State.
Donzel Johnson picks up his first on the floor. So the ball will go back to Dickinson State. Daniel inside, doesn't like what he sees, kicks it out to Evans. Evans finds right at the top of the key, pump fake, in and out, back out, shot up, off the mark, way off the mark. That one's gonna fall back down to Peru State as Daniel just can't find the basket. There's gonna be a blocking foul as Stevens tried getting in front to prevent the penetration, but was clearly moving.
Trey Stevens, that's his second Blue Hawks. Coming for Peru State, number 3, Ty Griggs.
Ty Griggs, the Omaha native, gets into the game, the senior, for the first time today on his welcome home tour. See if he touches the ball here as Lovelace gets set to inbounds. Guarded by Fischel, gets the ball in. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure what happened there because Carlos Hines dropped his shoulder. They're going to call a charge, but he came pretty close to stepping out as well. This is going to end up back in Dickinson State's hands. It was either going to be a charge or an out of bounds. And
Peru State, number 1.
Unfortunately for Peru State, they get the charge call, and the personal foul goes against Lovelace. 8:40 to play in the first half. Dickinson State leads 16-14. Aiden Fischel brings the ball up court for the Blue Hawks. Gets around Daughtry back to Fischel, hands it off to Wright. Wright back to Evans. A lot of ball movement here, deep into the shot clock. Go to the Blue Hawks with 8. With 7, Fischel looking outside for Evans. Evans with 4, scoop layup at the rim. This one in and out again. That's 3 consecutive possessions for Dickinson State where they just can't get the ball to roll through the cylinder. Peoples gives it up here and then gets the ball back at the top of the key, and he got away with it. Yeah, no, they're going to call it. He lowered his shoulder, but Aiden Fischel didn't give up an inch. And that is going to go back to the Blue Hawks as Peru State marches back to the other end of the court. Kosei Igbule ends up back in the game here. Let's see if that ankle's still an issue. Fischel brings the ball up past half court, under 8 to play in the first. Guarded one-on-one by Lovelace. Now gives it off an open shot for Daughtry on the right side and is able to get this one to go. Gets the friendly roll finally for the Blue Hawks. They extend the lead to 4. Griggs with the ball in his hands. He's trying to make something happen. Just can't find a lot of room underneath. Puts up shot off the front rim. Ends up back down into the Blue Hawks' hands. Shot up way outside the arc. Way off the mark. Squirrel Stinson just trying to make something happen. There's another quick move back on the other side for the Bobcats. A lot of traffic and another charge against Peru State.
Offensive foul. Peru State, number 10, Stephen Coleman Jr. That's his first.
Stephen Coleman picks up his first foul.
For the Bobcats.
Just trying to get to the rim, but too many white jerseys in the way. Just lowers his shoulder and ran through 2 people. Ball goes back to Dickinson State. 7 minutes to play, 7:13 to play in the first half. Fischel hands off to Stinson, gets it back to Aiden Fischel. Fischel trying to make something happen under the court, nothing, under the basket, nothing there. Igbule with a shot from outside, this one off the mark as well. Stinson goes up and gets the rebound, goes up strong, puts it back between 4 defenders to put the Blue Hawks lead out to 6. Griggs now looking outside. Ends up back in the hands of Miller. Miller hands off to Peoples. Peoples looking for something, trying to get some sort of room between he and the defender. Nothing there. Great defense by Stinson. Ball back in the hands of the Blue Hawks. Evans for Igbule, nothing there. Pivot out to Fischel and then back into Evans' hands. Evans leading scorer a week ago. Hasn't gotten much going here. He's got 3 points. Doty just can't get any penetration to the rim. 4 seconds, no ball movement at all for the Blue Hawks, but it doesn't matter as Fischel finds his way to the rim off the front end, but Evans pulls this one down. Doty on the outside, shot up, no good. Fischel almost brings it down again between 4 Bobcats, but Peru State able to corral this one. Ends up back in the hands of Griggs as Ty Griggs gets up to the right side of the key, trying to make something happen here offensively. Dribbles, drive, pull back. Same thing outside for Lovelace, but isn't able to get it and brought down. Stinson able to corral that and pick up a foul.
Number 3, Trey Stevens. It's his first.
They're going to call an off the ball foul. Trey Stevens almost got away with a shove there at the end. When we got on the replay here. Stevens off the ball, came in and gave a. No, I'm sorry. They're going to call. No, they're going to call this against. This is going to go this way. Ty Griggs is going to get the call here. Wrong number 3 by the officials, but Ty Griggs got away, came in ton of contact there at the end. It looked like this was going to go against Stevens, but no. Goes against blocks. Doesn't matter though. The Bobcats get the ball back. A great take there by Devin Tomlinson, who just blew by his guy, was able to get some penetration to the rim and makes it count. They trail by 4, 20-16. The Blue Hawks lead, 5:15 to play in the first half. Stinson inside, trying to make something happen. Can't find a lot of room. Gives it back out to Doty. Doty puts it up off the mark. Rebound back down to Tomlinson, who's going to want to get out and run. He's got numbers up front, and then the Bobcats have to slow it down because Dickinson State catches up. Peoples into Tomlinson, makes one man fall, and then pulls up and misses way off the mark. Kosei Igbule is able to pull this one down. Ball back to Dickinson State, 4:41 to play in the first half. Igbule just can't make anything happen there. He's noticeably favoring that left ankle. Pivot inside, pulls it back outside off the mark. Igbule comes back down to the Bobcats. They want to get out and run. They've got the numbers now. They do. In transition, count the bucket. Goes down. Donzel Johnson, who made the defender bite, goes up, gets the count and the basket. He'll shoot one.
Team third, Bulldogs.
That one goes against Dowdy, and he will head over to the bench.
Donzel Johnson.
Johnson's free throw up, off the mark, brought back down by Evans. 4:17 to play in the first half. Evans gives it up to Igbule. He's double teamed, kicks out to Evans, who can't handle that one, but is able to get it back. Resets the offense. Evans tried giving up the right. Right wasn't expected. This one just flies out of bounds into the Bobcat bench. And we'll go the opposite direction.
Bobcat basketball.
Peoples with some last-minute instruction from Hines there on the sidelines. Hands it off to Griggs. Guarded one-on-one by Official and gives it up to Tomlinson. Griggs doesn't like what he sees there and gets it back to Peoples. Peoples driving underneath against Evans. Can't get Evans off his spot despite trying. Shot up from way outside and way off the mark as Stephen Coleman just couldn't find the landing spot. Lots of contact under the basket. Nothing called there. Evans puts up a shot off the mark, brought back down by the Bobcats. Both teams just neither one shooting above 35% from the field in this first half. Both teams getting their first look at live action here. Tomlinson trying to make something happen, finds Johnson underneath the basket, and he's had a couple of great possessions and now pulls the game to a 20-20 tie with 3 minutes to go. Wright gives up to Igbule. Igbule from outside and again off the mark. And the whole entire Bobcat bench yelling to go, go, go. Roman Gentry wants his team in transition, and he gets it here, and they get a basket and a foul. As Stephen Coleman goes the length of the court, goes up strong, gets the foul and the bucket to take the lead. Kosei Igbule picks up his first foul of the game, and again goes back to that ankle. He's trying to stretch something out. Getting our first look in front of us as the Oakland City University Mighty Oaks getting ready to take on the Bellevue University men's basketball team as they head to the locker room for the first time here. We'll see that game in the nightcap tonight. Looks like we got a wet spotter 4 down on the west side of the court. Devin Tomlinson saying he slipped. Regardless, that'll send Stephen Coleman to the line. His team finally takes the lead in this one. They lead by 2. He'll be shooting 1 here. Braden Palmer, the Alliance Nebraska native, checking back in for Dickinson State here.
Line shooting 1 for the Bobcats. Stephen Coleman Jr.
Last minute instructions about defensive assignments here. Gets Coleman's shot up good. Extends the lead out to 3, 2:45 to play in the first. Press set on for the Bobcats here, but Igbule is able to break past it. He's looking outside for Wright. Throws this one about 90 feet in the air, and Wright not able to bring it down because Jaden Wright's only 6'1", not 10'3", so that's going to be a turnover for Dickinson State. Bobcats slow it down here after getting out and running in the last 2 possessions. As Quentin Wright handles the ball and gives it off Tomlinson, who puts a shot up, nothing doing there. Ball comes back down to Blue Hawks. Wright in transition is going to give this one up inside, nothing going there. Ball falls down to the Bobcats after Palmer's shot, no good. Tomlinson goes from inside outside, and he's able to bring it back in, go up strong and flexes. Go ahead, big fella. His team's up 25-20. Press back on for the Bobcats, but Igbule is able to take it the length of the court and score. He just beat the press, and there was not enough numbers back there. So some instructions come in from the sidelines for Roman Gentry again on how to set up this offense. He did not like that last possession. Coleman puts up a shot off the mark, rebound to Igbule. No, he's going to not be able to handle it. There wasn't anybody around him to bring that down. He just throws this one out of bounds and again back to adjusting that ankle. He is a dynamic player, and I get how important he is to this team, but he is not, and maybe there's just a little bit of wet spot down the floor, but he has been flexing and grabbing at that ankle a ton today. He's got 7. He's the leading scorer for Dickinson State. back to Peru State after Boulay couldn't handle that one. Inbounds comes up the top of the key to Coleman. Coleman looking for something, gives it up to Peoples. Peoples lowers his shoulder and drives into right and then throws this off Boulay. Jaden Wright just flexed his chest there and took one right in the middle.
Number 1, Jake Wright, that's his first.
They call a blocking foul on him.
Blue Hawks.
Team 5th for Dickinson State. Almost in the bonus is Peru State. 25-22, 1:28 to play in the first half. Bobcats with the ball under their own hoop. Giving it up to Tomlinson, who dribbles to his right. Puts up one at the top of the key, way off the mark. Rebound, long rebound, brought back down by the Bobcats. Boulay tried to draw the charge, and he does. As Quentin Wright tried making a nifty move, but Boulay stood his ground inside the cylinder, and the ball's going to go the other way because of it.
Quentin Wright, that's his first.
Looks like they're trying to find a wet spot. There was a wet spot under the west basket that they couldn't find. The officials giving a couple of the Blue Hawks some hard times about it, and now they're trying to find this wet spot under the east basket. As the mystery spot's still not found. There it is. We have solved the mystery. Kosei Boulay brings it up past half court and hands it off. Ball finds its way into the hands. Jake Daniel. Daniel looking for some help. He gets it from Boulay. 1 minute on the game clock in the first half, 15 on the shot clock. So they're gonna get Braden Palmer for a little bit of a push. The ball will go the other way.
34. Braden Palmer, that's his first.
Team 6, both teams. Dickinson State with 6, Peru State with 8 fouls. And we have a 30-second timeout on the floor. Your score, Peru State 25, Dickinson State 22, 1:01 to play here in the first half of the second game of the Chick-fil-A Classic on the campus of Bellevue University. Your leading scorer right now for Dickinson State is Kosei Boulay. He's got 7. On the other side for Peru State, you've got Stephen Coleman Jr., who's got 5. And then Devin Tomlinson actually leads the Bobcats with 6. Bobcats just shooting 37% from the court, from the floor. Dickinson State just 32%. Both offenses are struggling through this first half. Combined, they've got 47 points with just under a minute to play in the first. Right now brings the ball up past midcourt. Started one-on-one by Stinson, gives it up, back to right. Great switch off. The defense communicating well for these Blue Hawks, not giving up an inch to Peru State. You see Daniel having to fight through one there. Doesn't matter, Wright able to get a step back, create some space, and score to extend this lead to 5. Peru State leads 27-20, 30 seconds on the game clock. 5 seconds separates game and shot clock. I think Boulay may take this one down as far as he can before getting off shot, trying to get the last one. Down to 12, under 10. Boulay now on the move, looking for some help. Doesn't get it, takes it himself. No, he's going to hand it off the last minute. Great decision as he finds Palmer underneath. He puts this one up. It's good. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Tomlinson going to try to get the best shot he can. 1 second, puts it up. They're going to get it for a travel. He was trying to create space. The defense crashed late. 0.7 seconds on the clock. Tomlinson frustrated mightily. Wright going to try to get this one off. This one is going to count, but no, it's going to be just short. That one would have counted. He got it up in time, but just doesn't find even the rim. Jaden Wright just threw up a prayer with 0.7 seconds to go on the game clock. That's going to send us to halftime with a score. Peru State 27, Dickinson State 24. Both teams frustrated offensively. Both defenses playing incredibly well. Right now, Dickinson State's defense is communicating. You can hear them all the way from the court up here into the crow's nest, and they are doing a great job of getting information from the bench to the sideline. From the bench to the court, back to the sideline, and it is shown as they have frustrated Peru State despite the Bobcats leading. They've only completed 13 of 33 shots. They're 0 for 7 from outside the arc. Similar story. the speed of the Bobcats is causing a problem for Dickinson State. They're 11 of 32 from the field, just 34%, 0 of 11, or a combined 0 of 18 from outside of the arc in this game. This game is going to be played at the rim for probably the remainder of this second half. We'll have more second half action here at the Chick-fil-A Classic from Bellevue University. We come back. Welcome back to the Chick-fil-A Classic as we get you set for second half action here between Dickinson State and Peru State. Peru State, the Bobcats lead 27-24, and just a little bit of a hodgepodge first half for both teams there. Neither team hit a three-point shot in that first half. Both teams Dickinson State had 7 turnovers. Peru State had 8. So we'll see if they can get it a little bit together after some halftime adjustments. Your leading scorer for Peru State, Bobcats lead by 3, and Devin Tomlinson has 7. He's their leading scorer. On the other side, 7 is the leading scorer for Dickinson State, as well as Kosei Ibuble has 7 as well. 27-24, Bobcats lead and have the ball to start the second half. 20 minutes on the clock. Chris Peoples starts it behind the timeline and advances. He gets it over to Tomlinson, who gives it up to Carlos Hines, who gets a running jumper to go. Extend the lead to 5. John Evans now the ball in his hands, and then it gets tipped away after he completed an errant pass. Ball going to stay with Dickinson State, despite Evans letting it slip between his fingers. Wipes his hands off and gets back at it. Trey Stevens, senior from Sparks, Nevada, with the ball in his hand at the top of the key. Trying to get the offense reset here. Finds Braden Palmer, the Alliance Nebraska native. Gets it out to Stinson, trying to make some room underneath with a bunch of big bodies down there. Isn't able to. Aaron shot off the right side. Rebound comes back down to the Bobcats. Hines Tomlinson ends up getting it back to Titian. Had some foul trouble in that first half. Peoples trying to make something happen. Great defense there. Trey Stevens didn't give up an inch to Chris Peoples, but the ball's going to stay with the Bobcats. 14 on the shot clock. Peoples didn't like the way the offense lined up there. Hines is trying to back down his man, not able to. Evans stands his ground. Igbule is able to pull it down. Reset the offense for Dickinson State the other way. Wide open lane, great take, great look. Palmer found under the basket as Stinson just unguarded, walks into the paint and then finds Palmer as the defense finally got to him. Put it back to a one-possession game. Ball finds its way back to Titian. Titian trying to back down his guy, and then Evans just comes in and pokes away, pulls it out back to the other way for Dickinson State. Evans hands it off. Stevens trying to find something happening. Igule's going to take it inside, puts one up, and just off the mark. He's been off all day. That he's usually very efficient in those style of shots. And couldn't get that one to go. What an athletic effort on the back end there. As Stephen Coleman Jr. came flying in from the other side and almost was able to put one back after a miss. Ibule kicks it out. Three-point attempt given up by Stevens. Stevens spin move inside. Nothing doing there, poked away by Tomlinson. Back the other way for the Bobcats. People sets it back to Hines to reset. 21 on the shot clock, 17:34 to play in the second half. Great take underneath. Nothing doing, though, as Carlos Hines got some space at the top of the key, just let it go and came up short. Palmer inside with Titian on him. A Nebraska guy, a Council Bluffs kid. One-on-one. Ball given back up outside to Stevens, who resets out to Evans. Evans gets this one poked away. I don't know about that. This one's going to go against Devin Tomlinson, but look, he got his hand on it. We're watching the replay now. Oh, yeah, it does look like he did get the hand. So great call by the official there from this side. It looked like he missed it, but this ball is going to stay with Dickinson State. 17 to play. Ibule being hassled by Tomlinson underneath. Big size discrepancy there. Tomlinson wins this one. Ball touched last by the Bobcats. It's going to stay with Dickinson State. They're saying it's poked out by Chris Titian.
Possession will stay with Bulldogs.
Stevens inbounds and then gets the pass back and then can't finish. He had a great look at it with nobody on him. Thomason goes the other way, draws the foul, and one. He was very frustrated in the first half. He felt like a couple of calls that he got called that shouldn't have gone against him, and has shown his frustration here, and it shows on a tough drive to the basket. Gets the and one, extends the lead out to 5.
50, Weston Zucker, that's his team first.
Thomason just lowered his shoulder and got to the rim, and not much that Weston Zacher could have done there. His shot up is good. 32-26, Peru State leads with 16:44 to play. Press has been intermediate here, but effective for the Bobcats. And Stinson able to get it past the timeline. Zacher now with the ball in his hands outside the perimeter. The first time we've seen that today. Hands up back in the hands of Evans. Evans just pass inside to Stinson, just gets poked away. The Bobcats are going to get out and run, and this one's going to be an easy layup on the other side. Stephen Coleman gets a great pass from Peoples. He's able to get that one to go. 34-26, 8, the largest lead of the game. Igboulé taking his time, picking his spots here. Great spin move, takes it inside, gets up, and is fouled. Coleman just kept pace there. Igboulé, a lot of traffic, almost got that one to roll home, but it's going to get 2 shots here.
Coleman Jr., that's his team second for Bobcats.
Team second for Peru State. Kosi Igboulé, 1 free throw on the night. He's 1 for 1. He does have 7 key rebounds. Leads all rebounders with 7. Igboulé shot up, off the front end and through the hoop. Couple changes right.
Number 12,
Official.
Number 1, Jaden Wright.
A check into the game. Both had busy first halves. Igboulé shot up. This one not going to fall through. Bounce off the front of the rim. Rebound pulled down by Tomlinson, going the other way to the Bobcats. They lead by 7. Great take inside by Coleman, trying to find some room, and does. Gets this one kissed off the glass, no good. Bounces out to Igboulé, and then the Blue Hawks going to slow it down a little bit. Press has been called off by Peru State. Stinson trying to find something, nothing under the Igboulé fakes the 3 and then brings inside. Nobody goes with him, and he takes it home. Gets that one to roll, puts him in double digits. He's got 10. His team down 5. Hines takes underneath. Kosi Igboulé draws the charge. He is still limping a little bit gingerly on that left leg, but had the wherewithal to set his feet there, pick up the charge. He was moving. That probably should have went the other way, but regardless, the ball stays with Dickinson State. Yeah, watching the replay here, he almost ran into Peoples. That definitely should have been a defensive foul, but the official saw it the other way as we got a little bit of a cleanup mess on the west side. Still cleaning up. I don't know why the out-of-bounds line is the most important part of the cleanup while the ball's going to be heading the other way, but nonetheless, it's clean now. And the Blue Hawks set to inbound, and they do. Very efficient cleaning crew at Bellevue University. Jaden Wright ends up giving it up here to Weston Zacher. Looks inside and throws this one away off the back. Ty Griggs, so they're going to call a foul on. He did not like that call. I don't either. Griggs was just making a play on the ball and got hit in the back. I mean, not much he could do there. Official trying to find some space and gets hassled again by Tomlinson. What a play by Carlos Hines, who's able to break up the ball and then toss it over his head back in, and the Bobcats have it. They come back with it. Tomlinson driving inside, runs into a ton of traffic. Finds a way to not pick up his foot. Griggs now with an open lane, takes it with his left hand, switching back to his right. The switch caused an issue, and off the rib back down to the Blue Hawks. Official moves the ball up court. Zacher hands it off. Back to Official. Hayden Fischel trying to make something happen under the rim. 3 defenders down there, but is able to get that one to go. Back to a one-possession game, 31-34. Dickinson State trails 14:25 to play. Hines on the other end, this time making a play offensively, but can't get the ball to fall through the hoop after that great effort defensively on the other side. Kosei Boulay hands it off to Jaden Wright. Right, back to Zacher. Zacher to Stinson. Stinson again, just an errant pass underneath the whacker or to Zacher. Zacher not able to get it, and then this one is going to go off of the foot of Devin Tomlinson, who does not like that call.
Sorry, Bobcats, number 12.
2 possessions in a row, Carlos Hines has just baited the Blue Hawks into an errant pass and has just been athletic enough to get in front of the receiver and poke it away and come down with it. Yeah, I don't know what Tomlinson didn't like there on the replay. Clearly went out of bounds off of him. Regardless, back down to Dickinson State. Jaden Wright with the ball in his hand. Stinson, errant pass. This one tipped away again, going the other way for the Bobcats. They want to get out and run, and then just pulling out. It's Lamar Lovelace, who his coach told him to slow it down. He does. Now Ty Griggs wants to give it up to Tomlinson. He gives it back off to Lovelace. Lovelace, mid-range jumper, uncontested. It's good. Got 2 defenders to bite on the inside and end up pulling it back out and scoring. Jaden Wright dribbled right into Weston Zacher there. Was able to hold on to it. Hayden Fischel goes spin move inside out, shoot up and off. Rebounded, comes down to Stinson, who puts it back up and draws the foul, but can't get the shot to go.
15. Donzel Johnson, that's his second.
Foul goes against Donzel Johnson. Great look of the Bellevue University women's basketball team. Gabby Moore and Kaylee Decker waiting over in the entryway. Shot out by Stinson. This is good. Pulls the game back within 4.
Coming in for Dickinson State, number 3, Trey Stevens.
Jaden Wright runs off. Trey Stevens runs on for the Blue Hawks. That one, no good, comes down. In the hands of the Bobcats. They lead by 4, 13 minutes to go. Shot up off the mark, no good, as Tomlinson had a wide open look at it, just couldn't get that one to fall. Rebound back down to the Blue Hawks. Fischel now dribbling to his left, and all over him is Lamar Lovelace. Zacher now trying to make something happen, almost traveled there. Luckily, he didn't, able to keep his foot down. 9 on the shot clock. Shot up and good for Trey Stevens. Finally, the first 3-point shot of the game is made with 12:26 to play in the second half, and it could have come at a better time as Dickinson State pulls within 1. Tomlinson, great move, just palmed the basketball, quick step to the basket, gets it to go, puts it back out to a 3-point lead for the Bobcats. Tomlinson now with 11, the first Bobcat into double digits. Stevens fakes to his left, comes back to his right. Nice switch off by the Bobcats defensively. Stevens with 12, puts it up, under, big push underneath the basket. Jake Daniels gets shoved, but nothing called by the official. Ball back the other way to Peru State. Devin Tomlinson calling for it, gets it, but ends up giving it back to Griggs. Fakes to his right, screen set, and then a little bit of a slippage there by Daniels, who's looking for a call, doesn't get one. Jake Daniel back down the other way, kind of grabbing at his hip. He now has the ball in his hand. Gives off Stinson around the horn to Zacher, back to Stinson. It's back to Stevens, who calls the number to Zacher underneath. Stevens draws the defense, backside gets it up for the big man. Weston Zacher with his first points of the game. The freshman, 6'7" from Elgin, North Dakota, is on the board. Pulls his team within 1, 11 minutes to play. Shot up, no good, as Lamar Lovelace thought he was pushed off there. It looks like his foot slid a little bit as Stinson goes down the other way, gives it to Zacher, wide open 3. The big man just can't get this one to fall. Right place, right time. Jake Daniel finds the basketball with the rebound. Fresh set of seconds here for the Blue Hawks. Trey Stevens calls his own number, takes it up the hoop, can't get it to fall. Hayden Fischel with a great effort, another rebound. resets the clock for Dickinson State. Official calls his own number, shot up, no good. Daniel tried to get in there and get in the rebound, but pulling it down was Aaron Miller, too strong, able to pull it away. Wide open look for Tomlinson after the defense crashed in on the drive penetration. This three is good. Tomlinson extends the lead out to 4, 10 minutes to play. Daniel looking for any kind of help. Zachar again with a three, again too strong off the back iron. Pulled back down by the Bobcats. That is not what Derek Selvig was looking for. The head coach of the Blue Hawks noticeably frustrated there. Reset of the screen here for the Bobcats. They don't go to it, they go to the weak side. Griggs with the ball in his hand on the right side, dribbling inside, trying to find some sort of room. Official harassing underneath, doesn't matter. Griggs goes up strong and gets it to go. Everybody in the stands was calling for a foul, but it doesn't come. That's what matters, the officials didn't see it. Stevens trying to find something on the left side, nothing there. Back around the horn to the right. Official one-on-one, takes to the left side, great take, gets it up, and he's going to draw the foul, but can't get the shot to go. Zayden Fischel will shoot his first free throws of the game.
Second, team 6, first 8.
Scratch, this will be his second and third free throws of the game. He missed one in the first quarter, the first period. 9:14 to play here in the second period. Dickinson State trails 37-43. This is the Chick-fil-A Classic for Bellevue University inside the Gordon Lozier Athletic Center on the court of Jerry Mosser on the campus of Bellevue University. We appreciate you joining us again. We do have 2 games still left to go here today as the Bellevue women will take on Southwest Christian University. Both the Eagles and the Bruins tipping off their season today, and then Lucas Gabriel and the men of Bellevue University tonight will take on Oakland City University. The Mighty Oaks coming to Bellevue for the first time. That'll be your nightcap of the Chick-fil-A Classic. Dickinson State's women fell earlier today in a tough, the final score wasn't indicative of how the game went, but Mount Mercy hangs 97 on the Blue Hawks and pulls off a win in their debut game of the season. The Blue Hawks fall to 2-1. But Dickinson State men trying to have a better outcome here as they trail by 6 with 9:14 to play. Nobody heads to the scorer's table, same 5 for both sides. Zayden Fischel set to shoot 2 here.
At the line shooting 2 for Blue Hawks, number 12, Aiden Fischel.
Fischel's first one is up. It is good. 2-possession game. Fischel's second. Just as good as the first one. 43-39. Bobcats lead. It's Ty Griggs, the Omaha native. Brings the ball past half court and hands it off to Mara Lovelace. Lovelace trying to get some motion going. Hands off to Aaron Miller. Miller one-on-one. In the paint, spin move, spin out. Shot up, hook, no good. Rebound pulled down by Evans. Fischel brings it up and hands it off to Evans at the top of the key. Gives it off Stevens, back to Fischel. Fischel driving underneath, nothing there. Kicks it back to Evans, had a wide open look, but gave it up. Pulls the defense inside, goes up to the rim, tried to get in some contact, no whistle, but the basket goes. 2-point game, Dickinson State 41, Peru State 43. Deep three-point attempt off the mark. Rebound comes down to Ty Griggs, and now Aiden Fischel pulls it away. They're going to call it the foul against Ty Griggs. And then, wait, are we going to get a jump ball here? Yeah, they're going to call it a jump ball. It looked like they originally called a holding foul. Nope. Okay, it does go against Griggs. Okay, conflicting calls here by the officials. But this does go against the Bobcats, and it will give Dickinson State the ball underneath. Now they're going to let Fischel shoot here. That's going to put them in the bonus. Fischel will shoot 1-1 with a chance to pull his team to a tie game here. And this one rims in and out and then back in. It's Aiden Fischel, senior guard out of Scobie, Montana, is able to nail the first of a 1-1. This one to tie it. Fischel shot up, and it is good. We got a tie ball game, 8:23 to play. 43 all. Ty Griggs brings the ball up past half court. Hands it off to Lovelace. Back over to Tomlinson, around to Griggs. Griggs finds Titian, who hands it off again to Lovelace. So it goes underneath, scoop, and it is good. Sorry, Stephen Coleman with the basket. Playing off and then finding his way back into the rotation. Up and good, and puts the Bobcats up ahead again too, 45-43, 7:54 to play. Fischel has had the ball in his hands most of this second half, has the ball again underneath the hoop, backing down Griggs. Hook shot up, no good. Rebound comes down to Titian. Bobcats back on the move. Ball back in the hands of Coleman. Coleman giving it up to Titian, looking underneath for Tomlinson, who had it there, but Evans all over him. Evans not giving up an inch. Thompson kicks it back outside and calls for it back underneath the hoop and gets it. Evans all over him. He's nice spin move inside. Tomlinson just using every inch of his pivot foot that he can to get that up and underneath for a basket. Lead back out to 4 for the Bobcats. Tomlinson has been a problem defensively. Almost poked one away there. Shot is up by Stevens. Stevens off the mark. Rebound back down to the Bobcats. It doesn't look like that is what Derek Selvig wanted. Again, neither team great from outside. Dickinson State just 1 of 15 from beyond the arc. 6:50 to play. Bobcats lead by 4. Griggs puts one up for 3. Left wide open. A deep 3, but nonetheless a 3, and it is good. That's just the second three-pointer made by the Bobcats as well. The lead out to 7. Igbule takes it underneath, puts one up again, not able to get off his pivot foot. This one comes up short. Tomlinson gas. He's done a lot today, understandably so. He's the last one down court to take a big, deep breath. He's played almost 30 minutes so far. Trying to work inside, outside, goes to Lovelace, nothing there. Now resets and drives again. Ton of contact underneath, but this one just goes off the side of the backboard and out of bounds. It's going to go back to Dickinson State. Great effort there by Trey Stevens to stay with Lamar Lovelace. Lots of deep breaths right now. First game of the season, guys finally getting their legs underneath them. A lot of minutes being played by the starters right now as Trey Stevens lets this one roll out. His team trails by 7 with 6 minutes to play. Kosei Ugbule, a little bit hamstrung by an ankle injury that he's been dealing with. It's not been as effective or as on ball as he'd like to be, but he's still the leading scorer for these Blue Hawks. Shot up in the corner by Jaden Wright, but this one not able to fall or to be corralled by Braden Palmer, and goes out of bounds and will go back the other direction to the Bobcats.
Bobcat basketball.
Ty Griggs gets it past half court and calls a timeout with his team up 7. An ugly, ugly game from outside of the arc right now. Both teams are combined 3 of 27 from 3. And if you're Dickinson State, that's probably a little bit worse, because that is kind of where they hang the hat of this offense out in the mid-range and the three-point game. Peru State not necessarily as reliable in the 3. They usually use their physicality and their speed to get to the rim. They've been able to do that to this point. That's really the difference of the game. A 7-point margin here with 5:40 to play in the second half, as Peru State trying to get their first win of the season. Excuse me, their second win of the season. They're coming off a win earlier in the week on the 28th. They got their season underway with a win over Haskell Indian Nations, looking to try to improve to 2-0. As both teams being instructed to come back out the second game of the Chick-fil-A Classic. Again, the Dickinson State women fell earlier in the day. The men try not to suffer the same fate here. Bobcats will have the basketball, 5:40 to play. Some last-minute instructions from Roman Gentry trying to set his offense where he wants it to be. Coleman inbounds, handoff back to Coleman, who goes under the basket. Ton of traffic there, tries to make something happen, loses his handle. Ball's going to be going back the other direction. It's Coleman with a little bit of lip getting up. As Evans trying to get down the court quickly and does, but not able to find a whole lot of room. Right hands it off to Igbue, who resets the offense, dribbles between his legs, and will hand off the right. Now he fakes it, trying to get something to happen, trying to create some sort of space, but none being given up by this Bobcat defense. Evans left wide open from outside, gets this one to go. It's going to be good for 2. It looks like his foot was on the line. Timeout called by Derek Selvig after that basket. A 2-possession game. I think John Evans would like to have that one back. His foot was barely on the line on the replay here. I mean, you can barely see it touching it, but it clearly was. But regardless, this team trails by 5 with 5:08 to play. Leading scorer right now for the Bobcats is a guy that's been getting it done on both ends of the court, Devin Tomlinson. He's got 16 to lead all scorers. Kosei Uguble is the leading scorer for Dickinson State. He's got 10. He also has 8 boards and leads Dickinson State in rebounds. The guy who leads, both players who lead in scoring also both lead in rebounds, as Devin Tomlinson is the leading rebounder for Peru State as well. Again, this is the Chick-fil-A Classic here at Bellevue University. Stick around with us. As you can see in the doorway there, Gabby Moore and her Bellevue Bruins getting ready to do battle today with Southwestern Christian. And then Lucas Gabriel's men's basketball team tonight is going to take on the Oakland City University Mighty Oaks. And Coach Gabe was over on the east side of the building taking this one in. He's now moved over to close to the student section on the right side here. Can't really see him on our broadcast, but heavily scouting this one. We still got a lot of basketball to play here. 5:08, folks, to go. And the Bobcats with the lead and the basketball. It's Ty Griggs brings it up past midcourt, guarded by Kosei Uguble. Pass inside off the mark, but rebound brought down and scored by Stephen Coleman Jr. Just right place, right time, uncontested jumper. It goes through the basket. Great take and look inside by Igbue, who finds who finds Braden Palmer for a basket. Back to 5, 4:37 to play. Switch on by the Blue Hawks, and they stick with it. Evans back on Coleman. Coleman dishes around to Johnson. Johnson gives it up to Tomlinson, and just like he's been able to do all day, finds the bottom of the net. He's got 19. Lead extended back out to 8. Stevens gives it up underneath, back to Palmer. Palmer almost loses the handle, back to Evans. Palmer on the deck. Evans dribbles into a ton of traffic, has to kick it out to Igbue. Igbue, shifty move at the top of the key, trying to get some space. Leans into the defender. Lots of contact, no call. But Kosei Igbue is able to get that one to roll. Pulls his team back within 6, 3:48 to play. Tomlinson with 19. He dribbles underneath, gets a scoop layup to roll home. Nifty move. Gets a giant reaction from his bench, as he should. He's got 21. It's just on the replay. Not even sure how that one was able to go home. Or this one is John Evans, not to be outdone. Comes back on the other side and through a ton of traffic. Hammered and gets a roll. What a series of events on both sides. I'm pretty sure Devin Tomlinson on the right side of the court was able to defy gravity, and John Evans through a ton of traffic just muscles that one through the hoop. And we'll head to the line to shoot one. Evans free throw up. It's good. 5-point game, 3:25 to play. Ty Griggs trying to make something happen under the hoop. Gives it back up to Tomlinson, because why wouldn't you at this point? Tomlinson back to Griggs, who looks underneath and finds Coleman for an easy dunk. The defense crashed on the perimeter. And Stephen Coleman Jr. just finds his way through the paint and an easy bucket to extend the lead out to 7. Jaden Wright on the outside, 3-point shot up is no good. Blue Hawks just 1 of 17 from behind the arc. Tomlinson slowing it down here. Instructions from Coach Gentry on the sideline to slow it down. And then Coleman through the middle again. Gets the foul, the roll, and the bucket. Noticeable frustration for Keisei Ugubue trying to get some communication to his defense. That's the second time you've had a shooter come from outside the three-point line and crash in with no defensive response from Dickinson State to get the lead 59-54. Excuse me, 61-52. The scorers table gave the bucket to the wrong side. 61-52, 2:45 to play. Coleman at the line. David Coleman Jr.'s free throw good. 10-point game, the second largest of the lead of the day for Peru State. Evans lets it roll past half court, gives it off. Now dribbles inside, under the cylinder, trying to make something happen. Euro step, doesn't get it to go. Rebound comes down, and a foul. Stinson gets that one to go, and a timeout called. Just an ice-cold day from beyond the arc are the Blue Hawks. 1 of 17 from beyond the three-point line, and just 22 of 60 from the field. Peru State a little bit better, 3 of 12. And really the difference in the game right now, those two shots. 8-point lead for Peru State, but they are 3 of 12 from beyond the arc, and they're shooting 28 of 63 from the field, 44%. And they'll have the basketball here as Christian Titian plays way in the backcourt, but Ty Griggs is going to bring it out. And then, oh, what a steal, almost. Trey Stevens baited him in to throw it in to Donzel Johnson. They did, and he was able to sneak in and almost poke it away. This one's going to stay with Peru State, though. Johnson going to head to the sideline now, and that'll bring in Carlos Hines. This one into Griggs. The press is on. Griggs is trapped. He can't go anywhere. He needs some help, and he can't get away. His teammates bailed on him, but bringing him back to the ball is Titian, and there's going to be an 8-second violation. Yeah, maybe even by 10. Great trap by the Blue Hawks. Ty Griggs didn't have anywhere to go, and for some odd reason, Hines and Peoples bailed on him. They were trying to get down court to get him a pass that way, but that's where the defense was. Griggs couldn't get rid of it. Ball back to Dickinson State. Stevens dribbles to his right. No defender followed him. He could have had a shot there, but chose to pass him. Now he takes it in with a hand in his face. That one off the mark. Back down to the Bobcats. Press back on. They're trying to find some way to get it past them. Griggs breaks the timeline and finally gets the ball to fall into his hands. 2:05 to play with a 8-point lead. Hines gives it up to Tomlinson. Tomlinson back to Griggs. 12 on the shot clock. Trying to bleed this down as low as they can. 1:53 to play. Coleman gives it up with 4. Tomlinson from way outside. 2-1. Finally inside the key. Gets this one up. No good. Brought down by Stinson, who gives it up to Igbule, who's going to go the length of the court. Gets it up to go. Looking for contact. Doesn't get the call, but does get the basket to pull within a 2-possession game. 1:35 to play. Peru State leads 62. Dickinson State 56. Kosei Igbule, 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists today. He leads the Dickinson State Blue Hawks in in points and assists. Right now, Cordell Stinson has 14 rebounds on the day to lead the Blue Hawks in that category. Leading scorer right now for everybody is Devin Tomlinson. He has been a do-it-all Swiss Army knife today. He's got 21 points. He's got 9 boards, and he does have the 1 assist, but he has been all over the court. Has been the offensive straw that is stirring the drink for these Bobcats. Don't forget to stick around. Mick Krepsky is going to join me here for the call for the Bellevue men and women's basketball games that will follow this. As you see, if you look to the left side of your screen there, Amina Hall and the Bellevue women's basketball team, Zakaya Muhammad and that group of girls ready to go. They have a ton of youth returning from a year ago, and they've got a lot of senior leadership. It's going to be interesting to see how Dave Denley and that coaching staff handles this offense. I'm excited to see this new-look Bruins team here in the next game. But before we get there, we got to finish this exciting one. 1:33 to play. Bobcats with the ball and a 6-point lead. With the press on, they're able to get it past midcourt and back into the hands of Ty Griggs. Griggs, with a lot of pressure on him, is able to dribble out, find Tomlinson. Tomlinson ends up giving it off to Coleman. Coleman looking inside for Tomlinson again with a lot of pressure. They're going to call this one on Igbule.
Fouls on Blue Hawks, number 2, Jose Igbule. That's his third.
Igbule picks up his third foul and the third team foul as well. They're going to let Hines inbounds this. 20 on the shot clock. 1:15 on the game clock. Got a lot of moisture today. A couple of slippages, and then the official having some issues with the basketball there. Great job by Coleman to get off the block and give it back to Tomlinson. It was one-on-one, but kicks it out for Titian, hands it off, and then a foul. Looks like that one's going to go. They call this one on Stinson? Yeah, that's going to go against Stinson.
Stinson, that's his first.
His first of the entire game. He's got 14 rebounds, 0 fouls. That's pretty impressive. He kind of took a shot to the face there. No call. And the call is going to go against Jake Daniel on the other side.
Also Blue Hawks, number 10, Jake Daniel. First, team fifth.
15 foul. There's one away from the bonus now. Ball inbounded here, and then a foul given up.
Foul, Dickinson State, Jake Daniel.
Jake Daniel picks up another foul. That's going to be the 6th team foul.
Blue Hawks.
Blue State sets inbounds another foul, just trying to get to that bonus mark. Do the Blue Hawks, and they finally get there. Their 7th team foul.
Daniel, his third.
Daniel picks up his third to get the Bobcats to the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
3, Trey Stevens.
Stevens checks back in for Dickinson State. Shooting a 1-and-1 here is Carlos Hines. That one is good to extend it to a 3-possession game. 63-56, 1:03 to play. Some instructions coming in from the sidelines from Roman Gentry telling everybody, hey, you got to get back here. We can't allow a quick, easy basket. As Trey Stevens sneaks into the back court. Not uncontested, though, as Kosei Igbule takes a step back 3, trying to make something happen for his offense. He gets it to fall. Oh, they're going to call it a 2. It looked like his foot was way outside of the line. Let's take a look at that one. No, he was on the line. That is a good call. It's a 2-pointer, a deep 2-pointer for Kosei Igbule. That's a step back. Wasn't back far enough to pull his team within 6. 56.8 seconds to go. You're going to see an early foul here from Dickinson State. They're probably trying to figure out who it's going to be on, who needs to draw it, and where the defense needs to line up. Story of the game, though, the Blue Hawks just 1 of 18 from beyond the arc. And just 24 of 63 from the field, but still, regardless, trail by 6. Both teams combined are 3 of 30. So not a whole lot of perimeter presence today from either team. Not effectively, anyway. But it'll be interesting to see who Dickinson State tries to draw the foul on. It'll be interesting to see who Peru State puts the ball in the hands of. Gotta feel it's probably going to be Coleman. No, Coleman doesn't even come out. He stays on the bench. No, he's out in front of me, excuse me. No, they get it into Griggs. Griggs holds, continues to hold. No trap on. Now it comes. Griggs dribbles into traffic, was able to get it to Tomlinson. Tomlinson kicks it out to Hines. Hines trying to make something out of the Igbule on him. Hines gives it up and it just gets it ripped away by Fischel on the other side. Fischel with 37 seconds trying to find somebody. Stinson steps in to help. He gets hammered underneath. Well, about as good of a possession as you could hope for there if you're Dickinson State. No foul. Turned it over and didn't give up too much time. About the only better situation you could have had is either an earlier tip away or a trap. And just great job by Aiden Fischel, the senior, stepping in and ripping it away and giving his team a shot to pull within 2 possessions here.
The line for Dickinson State, number 30.
Cordell Stinson will shoot 2 free throws here. He's 1 of 3 from the charity stripe. His first one is off the mark as well. A little bit of confusion there as Stephen Coleman Jr. thought it was a 1-and-1. He's shooting 2. Coleman just laughed it off. Great effort, though. Can't fault him for that. Stinson's second one is up. This one's going to go through. 59-64, 34.6 to play. The trap back on for Dickinson State. They find Griggs. Griggs doesn't try to dribble out of it and then gets fouled. He will go to the free throw to shoot a 1-and-1. As the free throw competition has begun, Dickinson State just trying to will themselves back into this one, trailing by 6. Trey Stevens picking up the foul. That'll be his second.
The line for Peru State, number 3, Ty Griggs, shooting 1-and-1.
Ty Griggs shooting 1-and-1 here. This is his first 1 and 2 free throws of the day. Kosei Ugubule almost fell inside of the paint there. He did a great job of holding his balance. The free throw counts. 65-59. Griggs' second is up. This one good as well. Extends the lead out to 7. Ball gets tossed into Stevens, who's a little bit trapped, and then picks up his dribble foot. Evans, deep 3, puts this one up off the mark. Brought back down by Peru State, and that's probably going to do it. Foul does come in, as Evans just trying to extend this one and give his team another shot. 7-point lead, 20 seconds to go.
8-9, Dickinson State.
And Carlos Hines heads to the free throw line.
1-and-1. Bobcats, Carlos Hines.
1 white, 1 black shoe on. And Hines is perfect from the free throw line, 3 of 3. 3 possession game, 20 seconds to go. Carlos Hines all but the chance to ice this one, and that's good. 9-point game, 20 seconds to go. Press is on from Peru State, and they're going to eventually let it off. And Igbule gets the ball with 11 seconds. Shot outside, 7 seconds. Rebound comes down to Dickinson State, that tipped away by Griggs, then ends up in the hands of Evans, who puts this, or Stevens, excuse me, puts this one up. It is good. But an elementary regardless, because that is not going to be enough to tie this up. 68-61 is going to be your final. Peru State pulls this one off. Your leading scorer for the Bobcats, Devin Tomlinson, 21 points, 9 of 17 from the field, 2 of 6 from beyond the arc, and 9 boards. The 9 boards leads the Bobcats today. The leading scorer for Dickinson State, Kosei Ugubule, 16 points, grabbed 8 boards, had 3 assists. And the leading rebounder for the Dickinson State Blue Hawks was Cordell Stinson. He grabbed, surprisingly, 14 boards tonight for the 41 rebounds for Dickinson State. They fall to 0-1 on the season, and Peru State improves to 2-0. The Bellevue University women's basketball team set to tip off. They are going to take on Southwest Christian University. Mick Krepsky is going to join me to cover this one, and we're going to try to get Dave Denley after the game as well, so make sure you stick around for post-game. Following that, stick around even longer, because we're going to have Lucas Gabriel's men's basketball team. And you know Coach Gabe's going to come up and talk to us as well. We'll get you ready for NAIA women's basketball action. We come back as the Bellevue University women's basketball team gets ready to take on Southwest Christian and the Eagles in about an hour. This has been the Chick-fil-A Classic. Repeating your final, Peru State 68, Dickinson State 61. Thank you so much for joining us in the first 2 games. Stick around for the last 2. It is the Chick-fil-A Classic at Bellevue University.